one of the sure signs of spring, Calgary is worrying about whether or not it is too early for outdoor container gardening. Here with a rundown of the do's and don'ts, the Calgary Horticultural Society's Kath Smyth, one of our very favorites on the show. Kath, correct me if I'm wrong. It's too early right now.
It's too early for things like petunias.
Okay, and it's not too early for what?
Well, we've got some snapdragons.
Ah.
The ornamental grasses do really well in this kind of weather. And pansies.
They look so delicate.
But they're not. They're really... We've got some little violas, and we have the traditional pansy. And I brought some little dianthus that'll trail over. And they're really all frost hardy.
Okay, so you can get started now.
Absolutely.
And should perhaps get started now if you want to get a jump start, right?
If you want to get ahead of the game a little bit, no reason why not. A lot of the garden centers are full of product.
Okay.
This is the earliest I've seen product in 18 years.
Well, I mean, the weather is just
The weather's
phenomenal.
incredible.
There's some terminology, though, that you wanted to share with us. Something about a plant being hardened off.
Okay.
What does that mean?
That means that they needed to be outside or at least put outside during the day and brought in at night.
Right.
But all of these plants have been used and put outside in cold frames. So they're ready to go. And in the daytime, they open the lid on the cold frame. At night, they'll maybe shut it. But last night, these all sat outside on my back porch, and they were fine.
So what if Andy does call for frost overnight, though? Is there anything that we
Well,
need to
we
do?
have some frost cloth on the market we can cover with. If you overbought, like some people do,
I can only imagine.
or you can do like I've done and push the couches out of the way and just fill the living room with plant material.
I can only imagine also what
Yes.
your house looks like. Okay, and then what can we plant, say, after May long weekend?
After May long weekend, let's go. Let's start going.
Bring it
You
on.
know, like, let's get going. The tomatoes can go out in the garden. We can start putting out stuff like your petunias and getting really excited about vegetables. Although the vegetable gardens are already in full swing.
Wow.
We've got spinach up, we've got lettuces, we've got all sorts of things in the garden at the Hort Society.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I see you have this ready to go.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What I wanted to say first of all is we buy these pots and they have these big drainage holes. So
Yes.
on the bottom of the pot, I put landscape fabric. Then the soil doesn't come out the bottom and you're not getting dirt all over your deck.
Okay.
And then a little bit of slow release fertilizer. And I usually use the Miracle Grow just because it's the one that I find is the most efficient.
Right.
And you sprinkle it in, and then we mix it into the topsoil. And it mixes down and in, and as you're planting, it works down further.
Now, Kath, how do you know if what you're working with soil-wise, your existing soil, do you need to top it up, or is it
In your
kind of
existing
okay?
soil, you really should add some fresh soil to it in your pots.
Every
for
year?
Every year. And sometimes if you're growing vegetables, you should change it out completely.
Okay.
Yeah. So I look for soil, like we use Pro Mix quite a lot, and Pro Mix or one of the ones, but what I like about it is it's bagged here in Alberta.
Oh.
So it's a
local soil.
That's right. But I like to do my thriller, as you know.
This is Ted reminded me. I had forgotten.
Ted reminded me too. So I have a thriller.
That is a thriller.
Isn't that a cool one? And it stays that color and it's alive. And then I'll do a little bit of filling with some snapdragons. And when you take them out of the pot and you see all that root,
Yes.
you just want to give it a good solid pull at it. You've got to loosen the roots. Otherwise they're going to keep growing in a circle and they're not going to establish themselves.
See, these are all things I don't know.
You didn't know that?
I don't know anything, Kath.
Well,
You know that I don't know
Well,
that.
I was going to make a comment about you and your hockey games, so...
Okay, well, hopefully I know a little bit about that, but I know nothing about this.
Well, you see, tickling the roots, you want to get those fiber roots showing. So you want to give it a good tear. Back in the day, we used to get our bedding plants in, and they would come in and they were all in one pack. And you just rip them apart.
Right.
That was the tickle.
Cute. I want to let you know upcoming events, by the way, for the Calgary Horticultural Society. Thursday, growing herbs for your garden, and then edibles for containers, and container gardening and hanging baskets. That's going to be a big one.
That one's a big one, and I actually just went and found all the baskets. I thought they were lost, but they're in the garage. They were where I left them.
Kath Smyth, our fairy here when it comes to gardening. So thriller, spiller, filler?
Filler, spiller, and thriller.
Thank you.
Now you have me confused.
Thank you, Kath Smyth.
Thank you.